This is the 2024 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Beer Experiment, Fruited American Wheat. Thanks to our sponsors. 5 Star Chemicals. Check out the interactive cleaning guides and learn more about their newest product, Liquid PBW, on their official website, www.5starchemicals.com. Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Supply Store. Beer and Wine has one of the biggest yeast selections around and boasts an extensive list of homebrew beer kits to make clones of some of your favorite beers. Check them out at www.beer-wine.com and tell them Brewtubers sent you in the order comment box. Let's get sipping.
Cheers and welcome to Irondale Brewing. We are up to strawberry beer number 9, and I say that kind of sadly because there's only this one plus one more, and then the experiment's over for me for the year, which is kind of a bummer. It's been a really good time trying all these, and it's a weirdly hot day in the Pacific Northwest for kind of almost mid-October. It's 66 degrees outside today, so good time for a strawberry wheat beer. I may be having my next one in the rain, but we'll see. Oh, the other thing I want to mention, sweatshirt. This is from the Fresh Hop Ale Festival that I just came back from in Yakima. Fantastic time. I won't burn too much time on that, but A+. So many good beers. Fresh Hop Ales are just unbelievable. And there was a Fresh Hop Lager, too, which I think was pretty interesting. Okay, but we're here to talk about Kurt's beer from Fermentation Ventures. And if I'm pronouncing this right, it is Reventoulet. I would have said Reventoulet because it looks French to me, but it's actually Finnish beer word. And he explains the myth on the back here. So it translates to foxfires, and that's what Finns call the aurora borealis. And when he brewed this beer, he wasn't thinking about the northern lights. I'm just kind of paraphrasing on the can here. But they made an ultra rare appearance in Connecticut on the brew deck for this. So, and I did a little bit of research. The myth, the firefox myth, is that the firefoxes are running across the snow so quickly that they shoot flames up from their tail, and that's what causes the northern lights. So very cool label, very cool name. That's amazing that it had that stellar event to go along with your brew day. So very cool. Anxious to try this one. So let's get it open. Oh, talk about what he used. He did 2 pounds of aseptic strawberry fruit puree and 2 ounces of Amoretti wild strawberry natural flavor in the fermenter after primary fermentation. So 2 pounds fruit, I can't talk, 2 pounds fruit puree and 2 ounces of Amoretti wild strawberry flavor, natural flavor. So I'm excited to try this. All right. Give it a pour here. That is a lovely color. Oh yeah. Thing that hits me right up front is strawberry and the wheat yeast character. Just gonna swirl it for a second and let it settle. Man, that smells fantastic. The strawberry, it smells like fresh strawberries. And after and this is kind of typical, at least in my aroma experience of a lot of beers. The yeast kind of like it's there for a minute and then it kind of goes away, and that's what's happening here. Because now it just smells like fresh strawberries. That is wow, fantastic aroma. Color is really nice. It's a really kind of pale. I never know how well color is going to come across on the camera, but it is a pale golden with a little bit of pink hue to it. Just really nice color, very inviting. Yeah, that aroma is fantastic. I'm just going to go ahead and dump a little more in there. Now I just don't want to get ahead of myself, so I have room to swirl. But yeah, I could have poured more aggressively. I'll swirl a little bit to get some bubbles going, but a nice, the bubbles that are forming that little bit of head on top are nice and white, bright white. Yeah, that, it's hard to recall over the course of 9 beers, all the past ones, but the aroma on this one strikes me as just probably the best. It's just fantastic. So spot on that. Let's give it a taste. Wow, that is really excellent. The strawberry flavor is pretty prominent, which is good. I mean, to me, that, it works very well. And there's the last fruit fly of the season, hopefully. Let's give you some more specs here. So 5.4% ABV, 22 IBU. And he canned this on July 12th. So that's almost 3 months later to the day that I'm trying it. Okay. And, you know, if you haven't seen all the videos, this was a wheat beer with, I'll just run this down for this one. So 82% Stone Path Pilsner, 16% Briess White Wheat, 4% Munich Type 2 Cashmere hops, and White Labs WLP 320 yeast. And there were some water additions and stuff. We all started with distilled water and so on and so forth, but I won't belabor that now. But yeah, I think this works really well. The aseptic fruit puree and the wild strawberry, Amoretti wild strawberry flavoring, that it gives it a very distinctly fresh strawberry taste to it. And it also gives a little bit of a sparkle, I guess is the best way to put it on my tongue. You know how like when if you bite into a fresh strawberry, it has that little bit of, it has that, I'm getting that same thing out of this beer, which is very cool. And it has a nice crispness to it, which I like. You know, that's a matter of taste. Some people I tend to like pretty dry beers. Some people like sweeter beers. This one is very well balanced and it's very crisp, and I really appreciate that. I'll see here, yeah, and I keep going back to that aroma. It's just really great. Yeah, and you can still taste the beer. It's the strawberry flavor is very prominent for me, but you can still taste that wheat beer underneath. So it's not like, you know, it's not overpowering by any means. It's probably, I'd say the strawberry is more prominent than some of the others, but not in a bad way at all. It's really, really well done. Yeah, that worked really well. So again, aseptic strawberry fruit puree and Amoretti wild strawberry natural flavoring added after primary fermentation. So that seemed to work really well. I'm sure a little bit of additional, or I would guess a little bit of additional fermentation kicked off if you're putting it in the fermenter, but you know, not to the point where it didn't shoot the ABV up super high. It's 5.4. And it didn't throw things off in terms of the sugar burning off the puree and whatnot. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's an excellent beer. Excellent label, excellent beer. I will definitely be trying the aseptic fruit purees in other ways. I think I did use some, yeah, it was aseptic fruit puree. I got guava a few years ago and did a guava blonde, I think. No, it was yes, it was a guava blonde, I think. I used way too much, and I thought it was done for, but I let it sit around for about a month, and after that month of just sitting there and me not worrying about it, it worked really well. So yeah, I guess thumbs up for the aseptic fruit puree in this case as well, because it's, yeah, it came out really well. Yeah, that is an excellent beer. And since this may be the last time I have to mow the lawn for the season, this will be my lawnmower beer for today. So yeah, great job, Kurt. Love the name. Very cool that the Northern Lights came out for your brew day. Poured the rest of it a little bit more aggressively to get that a little bit of head going on there. And the carbonation is great. You know, the lack of head is probably me being a little bit too gentle with the pour, but the carbonation is great. Mouthfeel is nice and full. And that strawberry taste, even though I haven't had a sip in a little bit here, is still kind of on the tongue. So yeah, that stuff works really well, very well executed. And I'm not a huge strawberry beer fan in general, but the use of that fruit puree may change my mind a little bit, or I will definitely look into other ones that I have in the back of my mind doing a blackberry beer because, hey, Northwest, and I think they make blackberry puree as well. So clearly that stuff works really well, and fantastic beer. I'm rambling because I'm very happy with this one. So great job, Kurt. Everybody's done an excellent job. And like I said, it's kind of getting sad. It's sad to be getting to the end of this. And I've learned a ton. All these are different. And so it's really fun. And, if you haven't done this sort of thing, if you have a local homebrew club or, hey, join Brewtubers, and you can be part of it next year. Who knows what we're going to end up doing for the experiment next year. But it's a great way to learn about how different, one variable change in a beer can kind of drastically change the character of it and so on. So this has been a fun one. I don't know what we're going to do next year. I think the year before I joined Brewtubers, they did one where they all did different yeasts, which is a pretty popular one. But you get very hops, you get very grains, whatever. And I also just saw an interview with Cityscape Brewing on the Apartment Brewers channel. And his homebrew club, they do something where it's kind of like, it's almost like Iron Chef, if you remember that show, where it's kind of like they have one ingredient that they have to use and it has to be prominent. Or I think the other way he described it, and maybe this is two different things, was fantasy football. So it's like you have a pool of ingredients. I'm not a fantasy football person, so I don't know exactly how this works. But you have a pool of ingredients, and then as people select them, the different ingredients get whittled down. You may not end up with something kind of strange, but that's a good way to kind of get out of your comfort zone and try something different. So anyway, this experimentation has been really fun. Excellent beer, Kurt, and I guess that only leaves one. And the last one is Gam Dud Billy, and I'm anxious to try that one. And I didn't save his for last for any reason other than it was the last one that will be getting pulled out of the fridge. So cheers. I'm going to go finish this, hopefully do the last cut in the grass for the last time this season, and we'll see you in the next one.